not going live. Anyway, that was my fault. Anyway, we are now live, guys. We are now live, and yes. So I'm waiting for Ollie to come on, and see if he comes on, we will be okay. Um, in the meantime, if I could get it up on my phone, um, next week we have um alcohol and drugs person coming on to talk to us about all sorts of different things and everything. And then after, um, it will be somebody else. Um, if you do want to come on sometime, please let us know, and we will be able to fit you in. All right. So there you go. Thank you very much for your sharing the site and everything. That's been so amazing. Um, what else is it? What else we've been up to? Um, we're still doing our podcast weekly. Um, and so that should be good. And yeah, um, we are doing okay at the moment. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is share something with you, if I can. No, no, no. Let's leave that then. Let's leave that. Right. Okay. So we're still waiting for Holly. Um, always like she is. Always. Honestly. Yeah. So anyway, so just had a message. Only be about um 5 minutes. So she's probably doing her hair, doing her makeup or whatever. She's got plans and everything, and she will be with us. Anyway, how you getting on with the weather? Um, where we live. Yes, I am still married. Yes, to Michelle. Yeah, 13 years. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, I don't know how she has. Actually, you're right. I don't know how she has put up with me, but she has. Um, would it be possible if you can do what? Interview your wife? What? No. Um, my wife doesn't like coming on with you. But I'll ask her. No. There you go. So there you go. And She doesn't like coming on. She doesn't like media stuff at all. She'll help me set things up, but she won't let me kind of like do anything. Yes, but she kind of like say, Steve, I'd help, but I won't come on. Anyway, here's Ollie. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, yeah. Doing
I
really
got I
good.
got stuck in traffic, so
I reckon you were out shopping, weren't you?
I bought my 16-year-old her first car.
First car.
Mhm.
Gosh.
She got
She,
a car. She's going to be excited. It always takes longer than it's supposed to though, doesn't it?
gosh. Oh, see, I told you she was rich, didn't I? So if you need a loan or whatever, go to Ollie. That's where all
No,
the
no,
loan.
don't come to
That's where all the loan sharks are over in our country.
I bite too.
Yeah, you bunch too. Yeah, yeah. What I want to do this week really is talk about depression, Ollie,
Yep.
because people keep on contacting me asking me, can you do this and do that? So, and it's from any, it's like from any illness that we have, I remember when I had depression, and then next minute I just kind of like went into depression mode. My mental health was not bad and everything. How do you deal with your mental health? And also, it's so difficult mental health sometimes to deal with, isn't it?
It really is. And it can affect anybody. That's what's so sort of scary is any of us can fall victim to depression, and it is a beast, and you don't know it is going to be as challenging as it actually is until you have it. I didn't really understand as a child or a teenager what depression was, but once I started getting treatment, I realized, ooh, there were times in my childhood, in my teenage years, I definitely had bouts of depression, but I didn't actually have an awareness around depression until I had my first child when I got postpartum depression. And I don't know if you guys, if it's being aired on your side, but right now, the Lindsay Clancy trial is going on. And man, I've been following it a little bit. It's just hit so hard because I can relate in so many different ways to her story. And it's so sad because at, it's really a scary feeling when your own mind turns against you and the dangerous person is you. You're it.
Yeah, yeah,
And that is, it's terrifying. It's probably, out of all the things I've gone through in my life, it's one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me because I was my own unsafe person
yeah, yeah.
and I didn't know how to manage it. And so specifically to women that have given birth, we are depleted nutritionally. So if you go into your pregnancy and you haven't done any detoxing, so maybe you have a toxic overload or you haven't really been eating correctly, and so you're nutritionally depleted going into the pregnancy, then when you come out of the pregnancy, you decide, oh, I'm going to breastfeed because that's what's best for my child. You are so depleted. And this poor woman, she ran a marathon after giving birth to her third child. And Um, the medical system is never looking for deficiencies, right? Because they are linked to depression.
Yeah.
Your B vitamins strongly linked to depression. And the B and the D vitamins actually are part of the cycle that controls your sleep, your melatonin, your serotonin, your happy hormone, right? So this is all on that same cycle. And so if we don't have enough zinc or selenium or any of these supporting vitamins that help that pathway, um, you're going to have mental health issues.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
on a vitamin side of it, right? Of a deficiency. That's not always the case, right? Things happen to us that then, we get broken up with, we get cheated on, we get in an accident, we lose our job. Things that are stressful happen to us that will put us into a lull of life. And that has nothing to do with vitamins, right? It has nothing to do with deficiencies. But it's such a struggle. And what I have learned, I've had 15 years of good therapy. I've had really bad therapy too. I don't include that in my years of therapy because it just was so bad. It was horrible. So I always say, if you're not, if the person's not really that you're talking to is not guiding you and giving you tools to manage your stress and manage your life, they're not a good therapist. Move on. Find a better one. Because some of the therapists, I was just literally like a chart. They'd pull out the chart. They didn't even remember who I was from the last week.
Well, they want.
And yeah, like you don't want that. That is your number. You're not going to get any better. This poor woman that is on trial, it appears she got about 15 minutes and that she was a number, right? She was a number and a checkbox. I mean, it really appears that is the case, unfortunately for her, in the treatment she was given. And that is not good therapy. That is not good therapy. That is not helpful. You want somebody that also isn't going to like push their own, like if I don't like the color blue and you mention how much you like blue and I'm going to push that, oh, stay away from that color. You don't want somebody, they should be unbiased, right? So they should be there giving you tools, supporting you, being the support system that maybe you lack, or being part of that support system. A good therapist is also going to reach out to who can help you. Who can I connect with as a therapist to help support you? So is that your husband? Is that your mother? Is that your father? Is that your best friend? Where is this support system? If you don't have one, let's try to create one, right? A good therapist, those are things they're providing for you. And so I see that there's just a lot of crap out there. And that's unfortunate because I think people have bad experiences and then they're like, I'm not doing therapy. I'm not doing this. But realistically, they need it. So I would encourage everyone to find the good therapist.
No. Saying that, how do we find a good therapist? Because sometimes people's got the money to find somebody, and sometimes people haven't got the money. How do we find one?
So unfortunately, the good ones, a lot of times they are going to cost more money, but sometimes not, because you have people that got into that profession for the right reasons, and they're going to want to help you. So money doesn't necessarily always mean you're going to get a bad or a good therapist. There are some very expensive therapists that I personally saw, and a psychiatrist that I saw, they were crap, right? So they cost a lot of money, but they didn't do a good job. So I wouldn't automatically go to a dollar amount, because it's in that field, it's not always true. But reviews, you start with reviews. I personally always start on the bad ones. So if they got 4 stars, what are the 1 stars? Right? What do they say? Are they consistent? Like, are there 5 patients that are saying the same thing? And then you have to assess and go, I don't really want that, right? So it's probably true if more than one person is saying it. And then you assess, well, that doesn't really bother me. They're 5 minutes late every appointment. I can deal with that, right? So if that's the complaint, that doesn't mean they're a bad therapist. It just means they're bad with their time. So you have to read the review and see, okay, is this something? And then you try them out. Unfortunately, you got to try them out like you're going clothes shopping. And does this one look good on me? Like you really do. You got to go see, and there's, it might be a good therapist, but maybe you guys, oil and vinegar or oil and water, like your personalities just don't mesh. Find a different therapist. So, it's something you unfortunately have to go. It takes a little bit of effort, and that is challenging when you're depressed because you don't want to do anything.
Right. Okay. So say if you, and the trouble is, it depends on the therapist really of what you're looking for, isn't it? If if
Yeah.
if, so you really you need to know of the qualifications and everything
Yeah.
of a therapist. I've got Gloria. Is it Gloria? Yes, I've got Gloria on the line, and she said she's been to a therapist in Los Angeles. Cost her around about $1,500 or something for 25 minutes.
Yeah. No.
Is that a standard?
No, that's insane. That is price gouging for sure because I'm from San Diego, so I'm not too far from LA. And my therapist, she was pricier, but she did take my insurance, so that helped. And I want to say she charged anywhere, gosh, it's, don't quote me because it's been a long time, but maybe around $250 to $300.
Wow.
So I would say 500 and below, and then if they take your insurance, that's even better. 1,500, they better be serving you some snacks and
Yeah,
some drinks, and
I just
they better be catering to me if they're gonna charge me that much.
I just said to her, I said to her earlier when I was emailing her, I says, you must be getting KFC and McDonald's from somewhere, serving you on a gold plate for that, right?
Oh no, I better be getting steak and potatoes, and I better be getting a five
So
star meal.
how much is it these days then for therapy to get therapy in the United States?
So it's roughly about, it hasn't shifted that much. So it's about the same. And then insurance, if they cover your therapy sessions, how that works is they'll allot you so many therapy sessions. And then based on your symptoms, once you reach those amounts, so say you get 20 appointments, once you're close to reaching those appointments, a therapist then submits for more appointments saying, hey, this person still has these issues we need to work on. And then the insurance company can then give you another, a lot of times it's in chunks. So they'll give you another 10 more, or they'll give you another 20 more, and then you would pay a copay. So that's if you had insurance, that's how that would work. Cash pay, even with my therapist, which was a nicer therapist, which was a more, I guess, upscale therapist, she charged her hourly amount. So I got at least 50 to 60 minutes out of that hour. So it was nothing less, unless I needed to go use the restroom. Sometimes when we would end, we might go over a little bit, but not too much. She managed her time very well. But how that should look like, you walk in the beginning, there is a checklist, like, what is your mood? So she's
All right, yeah.
evaluating where I'm at from the last time she saw me, right? If she gave me any tools or any instructional things to do, did I do them, right? So it's sort of like a little checklist. Then there's the time where you're going to talk about whatever it is, whether it's the trauma, whether it's just that life was hard that week and that's all you talk about, but you're going to talk about the things that are bothering you. And then at the end, it should taper down and there should be a safe plan given to you, especially if you're somebody that's unstable, or in my case, when I had postpartum depression, I was suicidal. So a safe plan of what are we going to do if you get overwhelmed? What are we going to do if this? If you're having these thoughts, you're going to call my number, right? You're going to call me directly. So a good therapist is setting up your appointment very structured like that. And then there's referrals. So do I need medication? Then that would be a referral to a psychiatrist so that you can, and then they're talking with each other. This Lindsay Clancy case, these specialists didn't even talk to each other. They're just randomly prescribing stuff, not really just going based off what Lindsay said, supposedly. And so there's no communication, and that is bad therapy. That's bad. Like, you have to, the specialist, there should be a form that you have to sign to release your medical records to the other specialist, and then they should be communicating with each other as to what are we doing for her. It's a team, right? This is your care team. And so if they're not working as a team, that is a huge red flag that I would run away from, because these medications, and go to the same pharmacist. The pharmacist should be flagging, hey, you shouldn't be taking these 3 together. Like, this woman was just failed by so many different angles. It's just so sad.
Right.
And today, like, this is current, and I dealt with this in 2005, and man, the fact that there really hasn't been that much of a shift in mental health care is so tragic for all of us that have experienced it, because it comes on like that. One day you're happy, and the next, it was like the color had been taken out of life. It was like I was just walking away around in a gray universe, a gray existence. There was no bright, there was no color, there was no life. There was just existing and trying to get day to day manage my life. And for anybody that has experienced that, it is the worst feeling, because you can't trust yourself anymore. And if you can't trust you, who do you trust?
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got to trust ourselves to trust other people first. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
So tell me a bit more about, because we got it different over here. Every place has got it different. Now, if you use your insurance, say, and does that mean that if you use insurance for a long time, then there's nothing left, or do you have to keep renewing it, or do you top it up?
So it depends on what type of insurance you have. So over here, you would want what's called PPO. That would be the plan you would want, because HMOs are crap. They give you the smallest amount of visits, and then once you're done, you're done. It's usually a lower standard of care. So you would prefer to have a PPO type plan, and it does, either way, it caps out. So the provider, the therapist that you're seeing, needs to know how to fill out the paperwork correctly, needs to know the right codes, needs to know what to say so you get more appointments. Especially somebody that's in need. If you don't do that part right, the insurance company could just deny you, just basically because the paperwork wasn't done right. And so you can run out of appointments. I never did, but I was majorly depressed. I was this Lindsay Clancy. That's how bad it got. I didn't bathe. I barely ate. I managed to take care of my son. I felt like my body had made his sick because he was born with chronic issues that just never seemed to end. And it weighed heavily on me as a new parent. I was young. I just turned 24. I was literally in the hospital when my water broke for 2 weeks, and I ended up turning 24 in that hospital. So I was very young, and I had no idea. I did not have the tools to manage a sick child, the miscarriage. I miscarried his twin. I had hyperemesis gravidorum, so I was extremely sick during that pregnancy. And I realized when during this pregnancy that I was in a bad marriage. So all this came crashing down on me, and I had absolutely no way of knowing how to manage it. And then I hadn't dealt with my trauma, with my childhood trauma. So then that, just so you know, when you have a baby, when you're a woman, more towards the women, it can happen with men as well. But if you have experienced any form of sexual trauma, especially as a child, it is amplified when you have a child, because not always, but oftentimes, because you now see how innocent you were in a version of yourself. That child is an extension of you, and you want to protect it. And you then see, oh my gosh, I was vulnerable. All the things you might not have wanted to admit before, you see it all, like that. And if you haven't dealt with that trauma, and then you give birth, and then it hits you like a load of bricks, good luck, like good luck trying to manage it on your own if you haven't gotten help yet. So I always encourage women that have had trauma prior to birth to try to get at least some therapy and to get tools to be able to manage the stress and the pain and the confusion that comes with then having your own child and being a victim.
Good, good. So it's kind of really, really kind of like tough when you go through the trauma and go through everything and come outside. Wonder why women are so can be so depressed and everything. And
Yeah.
you know, it's it's a shame because I'm glad I'm not a woman because all the things that you gotta go through,
Yeah.
to kind of like, oh gosh, I won't be able to cope with it. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go for a little break. We'll be right back. In the meantime, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Bye bye for now. I think I've lost
How's
the.
your day?
Yes, it's all right. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. It's getting cooler now.
Oh, that's nice. It's still hot here.
Is it?
It is still it's blazing. And typically so in California it's hot like well into October. But well, San Diego. But
Sandy.
here it starts to somewhat cool down a little bit around now, but it's not doing it. It's like an oven because it's humid. So it's like you open the oven and you like just walked right in.
Uh,
They're trying
sorry.
to cook some holly.
Are you?
Yeah, they're trying to cook me, Steve, over here.
Are they? Oh no. What they should do is hold you down and everything.
That's right. They didn't
And
even tie me up or anything like a turkey. I mean, come on. Where's my string?
I will. I remember when I was tied up once. Gosh, that was embarrassing. That was.
You got tied up?
Yes, on my stud night.
Oh.
Yeah. When I got married on my stud night, they got me drunk and they took me to a fountain in the middle of the town centre, and they tied me to the fountain,
Oh.
and all the buses, cars were going by, beeping their horns and everything. And
Oh no.
yeah, they stripped me right off. I had to explain. Then I got arrested for the night. I had to go to into a police cell for the night.
For
Oh
you
yes,
being tied up? Oh wow.
yeah, yes. That was embarrassing. That was my stud night. And then I had around about half an hour to get to the church to get married.
Oh wow. Oh, that's a story.
Oh yes, and that was shortened. I'll tell you one day about it. Oh gosh, it was embarrassing.
What marriage was that one? What number? What
Number
number were
one,
you? Number
number one.
1. Number
Yeah,
1.
yeah, number one. Yeah.
That was like an omen not to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, do you want me to do that now for you? Yeah, okay. Just 2 seconds. Tomorrow, guys. Uh, Tomorrow's show is going to be a good one. So, well, it's like everything. It's all good. But this one here is for a while. I have been working with a group in the in the United States who looks into prosperity in the church, and we. I don't know if you've seen the documentary about Kenneth Copeland and all that lot, but we are. I am speaking to somebody tomorrow about prosperity in the church and everything. So please come into that. That's 8 o'clock UK time, and be there, and you see what happens. And we got full footage of everything, all the planes, all the houses and everything, the everything. So tune in for them. Bye for now. Yes. So I've got an holiday in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, where are you going?
Only in the UK. We're going to a place called um, Sand Bay.
Ooh, that sounds fun. You gonna go on a boat?
No, 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 no. It's um, it's in it's in the UK in Western Supermare. So
Okay.
look up Western Supermare. You see it. Beautiful place in the UK.
What do you do there? What's is there sightseeing? What are we
Yeah,
gonna do?
you got the sea. You got a pier there. You got. But I go there. I go there all the time. About so many times a year. I just go there. There's entertainment on all day. Um, it's all flat and everything.
That sounds
Uh,
fun.
yeah, it's really nice. It's really, they have different shows on. I sits in the hallway, like on the sofa sometimes, and just drinking a glass of lager shandy or something. Um, yeah, it's just to get away from from the house and everything.
Yeah, it's always fun. We try to do that. We'll go more locally, but we'll go. Like this year, we went to Washington D.C., so we went there, did all the museums, and we walked 20 miles in 2 days.
Gosh, that
That
won't be.
yeah, like we were all sore and exhausted and sweaty. I had no idea when my husband said we were going to walk. I don't think he did either. I'm like, I looked at our little tracker and I'm like, you realize we've walked 20 miles?
We won't be
we
long.
were,
They got the
it,
sport on that.
oh,
What's that?
it didn't seem like much of a vacation when you're walking 20 miles.
Oh no, oh no,
No, no,
no! Don't
yeah,
don't do that! Don't do that!
no. But
No.
we go to the beach and the lake, and we
That's
always
what.
try to do water, get in the
Yeah,
water.
yeah. You got to. Yeah.
Try not to get bit by the sharks.
If you see a shark, just clean its teeth.
That's right. That's
So
right.
don't.
Just
Don't bite me. I'm here to clean your teeth.
yeah, don't make me punch you in the nose. We don't want to
Yeah.
go there. Yeah.
Come on now, La 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 la.
Yeah, one of the times they have like this little place that has tree houses. So
Oh yeah.
we went and stayed in a tree house, and my everybody they always try to ban me from scheduling vacations because I pick like obscure vacations like that. And so there were these giant raccoons that were coming up to the door
Was
trying
it?
to get the food inside, and the kids were like terrified. I'm laughing because and they're like, "Mom, quit picking these vacations," and I'm like, "I'm having a blast."
I would like a pet raccoon. Be alright,
They're
they would, wouldn't they?
cute. They're
Yeah.
cute. Yeah.
And I always wanted a koala bear.
Oh yeah. Yep. They're
Here we
soft
go.
and cute.
Right, here we go. Here we go. Fine. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. Yeah, and welcome back. We're just talking. Yeah, and we were just talking about our holidays and everything, and everything because I'm going away on the 30th of this month, and for a week, only for Monday to Friday, and I felt like an Australian then. You sounded like Australian, but I'm not. So anyway, yeah. So the podcast. I don't know about what's happening with the podcast, but I will let you know, everybody. In the meantime, back to Ollie. Ollie, when you said to me just now about raccoons, tell everybody about the raccoons because that was I just thought that was funny. So they're knocking on the. So you had a tree house. You got,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
were knocking on your door, getting the food and everything.
Oh yeah, and the kids were terrified because the raccoons here can get quite large. So it was like a little toddler standing up at the door, and the door was glass. So here we think we're in this remote tree house that we had rented, and my husband's cooking dinner, and this raccoon comes up, and my kids are terrified, and then they're yelling at me like, "Mom, you're banned from picking vacations." I'm getting a good belly laugh out of it because I think it's great, and I'm like, well, this is exactly why I pick these vacations.
It'd be good, wouldn't it? You'd be in the treehouse, and all of a sudden, a raccoon, little baby, went outside,
Yeah.
and you can actually kind of like tease it with like some nuts or some food and everything, you
Well, it
know.
was scared of us. It didn't. By the time I went to try to go give it something outside, it ran away. It was fast.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. So the moral of that story, if you was- if a raccoon kind of like does a runner on you, you know why? Because they do not like you. So
Yeah,
please be careful.
leave it
But
alone. Yeah.
but getting back to the topic, what we are going to do about the
Hmm.
depression, and finish it off. You know, we have that section of depression. We go into that depression, and then all of a sudden, bang, kicks in suicidal thoughts. We have all
Hmm.
these thoughts and everything, and feelings and everything. You know, so what I want to talk about is, how can someone really? Because it's a desperate mode. They're in a desperate mode, aren't they? They want to actually either one look for attention, or two, they actually want to actually end their life.
Yeah. It's so in my own story, what was crucial for me is to consistently do the things that I could. So, getting out in the sun to get the vitamin D that I needed, going for walks, having a support system that I relied on. So, it's hard when you're in that situation. I am the worst person to ask for help when I need it. But it is crucial that if you are dealing with depression, that you ask for that help and you have a friend, again, a family member, a therapist, somebody that you can go to in those moments, because it is not a matter of I am going to do this or I'm not going to do this. When those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts come in so quickly, it's like in a flash. You're depressed, but you might be somewhat stable that day, and then you're not. And then for me, it was my family's better off without me. I'm, you know, they don't really want me here. So it was very quickly, it would go downhill, and I would need to be reassured that they did want me here, that I was important to be here in this world. And if you don't share those thoughts, though, you don't have anybody to reassure you. And this is where it's crucial, because if you don't have a supportive person around you that is going to then feed into those thoughts, that, yeah, you don't We don't want you here. That is so dangerous for somebody that's dealing with depression, because they are one act away. They're already on the edge. And once they make a plan, it's having the courage to implement it, because it's scary when you want to take your own life. And so when you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do it. I remember one time I was in my car and I was just going to drive off the cliff. Like that was it. And I sat there in the car with it running, staring over the cliff, thinking, all right, I could do it. I can do it. I just have to step on the gas really fast. Is it really gonna kill me? You know, like I'm trying to really, is this gonna work? And from the grace of God, some car pulled up behind me and their lights reflected off my mirror, and I realized I wasn't alone. And that was the only thing that prevented me from implementing my plan, because I was in such despair. My mood was completely at the lowest it had been, and I just felt like everybody would be better off without me. It had nothing to do with I thought I deserved to die. I thought this. It was just this extreme, overwhelming emotion of nobody wanted me here.
Well,
and that's how quickly those thoughts come in. And you need somebody or help, or that's when those tools come in, where maybe you can have something with you, have a reminder that somebody cares about you. Sometimes people will keep a little coin with them, or something that's on their keys, something that sort of shifts your mind and says, no, wait, my therapist told me I'm important. Oh, wait, no, my dad told me I'm important, or my brother told me I'm important. There's something that gets you out of that state of doomsday, right? Of this is it. This is the only option. So having those tools and things that you can rely on to pull you out of those thoughts is so important.
Yeah. Okay, let's answer some questions here. Ray wants to know, I suffered with mental health problems, trying to take my own life. Tried cutting my wrist on a few times. Was taken to hospital. I'm okay. My parents are. I feel my parents are. Sorry, I feel my parents are not supported enough. Can I have some advice? Well, if your parents are not, I don't know the age, and I don't, you can. There's two things you can do with me. Okay, so you can either contact me, and I will put you to with my podcast, with all my podcasts. We got people on the side like counselors and all sorts of people who can give you help and support. So what I will do myself is I will get in contact with one of our people. If you contact me with your message, even if it's like just a telephone number or a contact or just whatever, I I can guarantee we will contact you straight away, and we can get you the help like you just said, because at the end of the day we all been through it, we all been there,
Yeah.
and we just want to help you.
Well, and I want to mention, so my reality is I'm an only child. Both of my parents were not supportive, right? They were abusive. And I didn't have all the friends with me where I lived with my son and my first husband. And so my only support was that therapist. That was it. That was my only lifeline. There was one neighbor that I had that I could go talk to. And so when you don't have the family structure or the friends or the supportive husband, because mine was not, mine was very much like this Lindsay Clancy's husband. I mean, even less than, I'd say he did this Patrick did more than mine did. He had no idea what medications I was on, what treatments he was completely removed from anything that had to do with my care. So not supportive whatsoever, but reaching out to a neighbor, reaching out, and it's awkward because you might not even know your neighbor, but
yeah.
when you're in that state, that's how you get to know your neighbor, and maybe they'll care, maybe they'll care. I fortunately had one that cared until she moved, and that is what I had to do for myself. I had my therapist number. I think she had given me some hotline numbers in case she wasn't available, so that way I could at least reach out to somebody. It's taking yourself into a public place. So maybe you go to a store, or you go do something nice for yourself, like a pedicure or something, so you have human contact in that moment. Like reaching out to the churches in your community, somebody that's going to give you some support when really you don't have any, because I quite literally did not have any support myself, aside from the support I sought after.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Francis. Steve, thank you very much for your support the other day. Sorry for contacting you so late. Francis, that's fine. Don't. It's not a problem. At the end of the day, if I'm here, I will help, and I hope you you have found a safe place to go, and that um, you you make the right decision. Because it's difficult. Relationships can be difficult, but you know, when there's abuse in a relationship, then I tell everybody that they don't belong there. They must go. And actually, next week we're talking about abuse. So, um, so please tune into that. Ollie, it's like anything, isn't it? It's like anything these days. You look at life altogether. You look at, like, we got faith. We believe, both of us believe God. And you look at it, and sometimes we think, God, do think about this and everything. And people contact me and they say, if there is a God, why can't he do this? Why can't he do that? You probably heard about, you probably heard of it. People ask
Yeah.
you, you know,
Yeah.
and the trouble is, so much abuse out there, so much hatred out there. You know what? What can you say to these people now? Who's probably listening and they're reaching out and saying, look, I need help.
I personally can't even believe all the things and the traumas that I've had in my life. I think like one is enough for one individual, but I have had many, many. Like, it's just sort of like, really? What? Like, why do I have to go through this now? Why did my house have to burn down? Like after all I've been through, and then my house burns down on top of that, it's like, what did I sign up for in this life? This is horrible. But I go back to, with God, all things are possible, right? And I think God wants us to want him, right? To pick him, and we don't. Do we pray every day? Are we showing up? Are we reading the Bible? Are we following the rules he put in place for us? And I'm going to say no, I don't. I get busy with life. I don't read the Bible all the time. I think, oh, I already did it. I already did it. I don't need to do it again. And so I think the bad things that happen, they affect many. Typically, it's not just you. And who are we leaning on during that time? And do we have to wait for the bad things to happen to then lean on God? Right? My personal belief is that bad things just they happen, right? They happen. And if they didn't happen, why would we go to God at all? Why would we? Like, we would think, oh, I got this. How many times in my life have I said, I got this, right?
Yeah.
I don't got it. I don't got it. And the minute I say that I got this, something bad happens, and then I am humbled in ways that I never imagined. And I think, oh, I don't I don't have this without him. I don't. And if I try to claim that, I know the sky falls on me. So I'm not going to do that, and I don't know. I think our life experiences help mold us into the people that we need to be. And I can be an advocate today for people with multiple sclerosis, for people with depression, for people with childhood abuse, for people with rape, right? Because I went through it, because I'm still here. So now I can tell you I made it. Here are the things that helped me. And that helps many people, doesn't it? If I share that information. So I think we go through hard things to help mold us into people to then help other people. I think that's what we're supposed to do with that.
Yeah. And I've only known Ollie for a short while. And I've interviewed, if you look at my podcast, all my shows and everything, what I've done in the past, there's loads. I think it's about nearly up to 1,000 videos I've done over the last few years. And every time I have Ollie on here, it's always the truth. It's always kind of like she's being honest with herself to tell other people, and that's what I like about her. When she comes on, usually I look forward to kind of like having her on because to me she's like fresh air. She's like she says as it is, and people, I know you, everyone out there keeps saying to me, about Ollie and everything, and thank you for that. But the trouble is, what you got to remember is when someone's gone through what she's gone through, right, then she is and will be a good advocate because she's been through it. People can stand up and talk about rape, they can talk about all sorts of things, and sometimes they haven't been through it.
No.
And sometimes they write a book, but they haven't been through it. It's all fake. It's all thingy. They just erred. But Ollie has been through it, and this is why I like people coming on here who's got real life stories, not made up, real life. I don't record any of my programs. I don't record any. Everything is live as it is, and I look forward to it, and I think you're a very genuine person because thank God there's people out there like you who's kind of sharing your story and not hiding away.
Thank you.
Honestly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, and thank you for the platform to do so because you give people like me a voice so I can share. And that information then gets to the people that it needs to help.
Yeah,
so
of course it does. Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose, I see. Would it be possible if I could talk to you about helping with the show production? Depends what it is. If you contact me, on my email. I don't know what you're talking about or whatever. And please, guys, we do not. Someone said to me the other day about making donations. We do not accept donations at all. Um, but if you are wanting seriously want to make a donation, that's fine. But we don't ask no money from our guest. We don't ask for nothing at all. So, but at the end of the day, anything we do is free. Only times we do help people or spend money is when we put people into rehab or anything else. Okay. Linda or Lindsay? Oh, Lindsay. All right. Would it be possible if you can say on to Ollie, tell her, thank you very much for coming on and giving her time. I watched some of her videos on Facebook, and I think she is brilliant as she goes along. And the trouble is with Ollie, right? Every time I try to go on there and look at her videos, I don't catch her live no more because I'm in bed. I'm well in bed, you know. And I reckon she does that on purpose. She goes like,
Uh,
"Steve's going to bed. Steve's going to bed now. Go on," because she knows that.
you figured me out.
Yeah, because you know what I'm like. I go on your Facebook, don't I? And I try to make you laugh or
You do.
disturb you. And so, guys, she doesn't do it. But I tell you what, if she does go on sometime, right, please let me know, all right? Everybody, okay? So I can go on there and wander up. Marie, Steve, would it be possible if you say hi to my husband? Hi. I don't know who you are, but there you go. Philippa, would it be possible if I can join your stream or your group anytime if you can? Um, Colin, Steve, would it be possible if I can be a member of your team? We haven't got the vacancies at the moment, but please email me later on and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Right. Okay. Ollie, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Every
Steve.
Everything goes. I tell you what, it goes so quick every week, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes. Would you ever do a 24-hour stream? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. We'll leave that for another time. But my wife says no. Um,
They want to see us sleep, Steve. is,
we want
is that us sleeping together? we don't want rumors.
yeah, we don't want rumors on
We
here.
don't want rumors.
Yeah, I'll be getting divorced in a minute. Uh, you never know, guys. You never know. But in the meantime, thank you, Ollie. Thank you.
Bye, Steve.